Let's bring in attorney Mahek Cook for more on this case. Mahek, the judge said no cameras in the courtroom. He thinks that helped keep the trial on rails. What do you think?
John, thanks for having me. And I agree with this judge. Every courtroom is designed for a fair trial. And what the judge was doing in this case was making sure that the political and online mobs did not interfere with the conduct, not only for himself, but also for the individuals in the room and the jury. I checked this, John, 3 times because I'm surprised by the pushback and this mob mentality. This was a unanimous verdict. That means the jury contemplated the evidence at hand. They looked at the self-defense plea that the defense made and they rejected it. I think this judge is doing something we need more of in this country, defending the courtroom from the mob and pushing back against this collapse of public trust in our justice system. And here the defense has every opportunity to appeal, but we have to push back on this mentality of racial injustice and all the other things, the AI images that are happening in the online forum, because it's just not accurate. You're seeing 12 jurors that made a decision, and that's what the rule of law demands.
Well, you mentioned AI images, and I wonder if cameras in the courtroom could have dispelled some of that. Here's what the judge had to say. He said, some news outlets were posting photos saying they were from inside the courtroom. It wasn't my courtroom. It wasn't the witness. It wasn't their testimony. And that's tragic because, again, that just breeds the narrative that these people want to cultivate in our community to drive a wedge between us. Obviously, people were putting fake photos out there, AI images, but if you had had cameras in the courtroom, maybe that wouldn't have happened.
Well, I got to tell you something, John. We see every single day the truth and what's happening on a large scale. When President Trump speaks, that's to camera, that's to the American people. And yet we have AI images and distortion from the truth. This is called media manipulation. And this younger generation and this mainstream media that really don't want the truth out there. So whether there were cameras or not, we were going to be fighting this mob mentality. It is a daily fight that Americans have today. This is why we turn to news outlets for the truth. And this is why the judge wanted to protect this trial. You could have opened it up. You could have had cameras, but we would have still had false narratives. The left and this mob is so good at this. We've seen this in so many other cases. I respect this judge's opinion and decision because this was a fair trial at the end of the day.
Yeah, here's one of the advantages of not having cameras in the courtroom. The judge says, I think social media got it wrong. Young people rely on social media more than I certainly do. That sure impacted me to make sure that they did not change their testimony, that they were willing to come in and tell the truth without fear of being doxed or swatted. So, you know, if some of these young witnesses had been available on camera feeds for, you know, people to watch at home, could have been a problem for them.
John, you're right. Look at all the young witnesses that were actually present at this event. And if we had family members there that were photographed, young individuals that were even coming in support of the prosecution or defense, suddenly they become targets. Online is supposed to be a way for us to be able to tell the truth, to share narratives, to make arguments, but it has now turned into a very negative place where individuals are getting doxxed for their public opinions. Death threats are being made, people's addresses, which are very easy to find, John, online. So this was another way for the judge to protect the integrity and the outcome of the trial. And as we continue to see what online mobs are doing, I think it's distasteful and it's very destructive for our legal system. And this is why, again, I applaud this judge for coming out and treating this legal case and ensuring that due process occurred for both sides. I mean, the judge did not have to say that Mr. Anthony was a nice guy. He said that because that's how he felt through the trial. But at the end of the day, the jurors still made a decision, guilty as charged.
I want to turn our attention quickly to the Tyler Robinson case in Utah. He's accused of assassinating Charlie Kirk. His defense team is trying to get the death penalty taken off the table. And it's interesting to me because Robinson is accused of imposing the death penalty on Charlie Kirk, but apparently he's not willing to face the possibility of it himself.
It's a very interesting argument, isn't it? But the defense has been trying these delay tactics. They're even appealing the cameras in the courtroom. They don't want public transparency, but everybody knows exactly what happened to Charlie Kirk. He was assassinated in broad daylight in a public forum on a public campus. So what the judge has to really decide is, are they going to allow the defense to continue to delay? And the most important verdict that the prosecution could get for Charlie Kirk's family and Americans across is the death penalty. There's no way that the judge is going to take that away in terms of potentially a gag order, alleged gag order violation from the prosecution. So we're going to have to watch this closely. But so far, the judge has been very meticulous and thoughtful, John.
All right, Mahek Cook. Mahek, thank you.
Thank you.